Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, All Things Frugal and Fabulous. Today I wanted to share with you some frugal and cheap meals that we make on a regular basis. And then I also found like a meal diary kind of that I had been keeping to share with y'all. There's 17 days here, and this was quite a while ago. But our meals look fairly much the same as they did here for the most part. So let's get started. Don't mind the noise in the background. That's just Wyatt. Okay, so the very first one is an old man's omelet. This is where you take potatoes, it can be leftover potatoes, hot dogs, eggs, or onions, and then you fry it and saute it all up, and then you add your eggs, and it's delicious. And you add a can of baked beans on the side that you got on sale, and it's a very complete and delicious meal. You can also use leftover meat and veggies if you have them, because I do that just to get them used up. The next meal is Lazy Man's Cabbage Rolls. I'm pretty sure I shared how I did this like years ago. It's basically you chop up cabbage, you throw it in a tin, you add some ground beef, you add some tomato sauce, ketchup, soy sauce, salt and pepper, beef broth, and sour cream. Throw it in the oven or the slow cooker on 350 for the oven for about an hour or so until you start smelling it, and then just test the cabbage. You can tell when cabbage is fully cooked, and because the cabbage actually takes longer to cook than the meat. So yeah, it's super delicious, super affordable. Cabbage is almost always really cheap, one of the cheapest vegetables that you can buy, and then I always get my ground beef on sale or on clearance. Next is super easy, but have oatmeal, or like if you call it porridge for supper. I've done this many times in a pinch when I just do not feel like cooking and don't want to spend money on takeout. Just make a big pot of porridge for dinner, and there you go. Add some fruit on the side, and it's a complete meal. The next is super simple. You just canned tomato soup and rice. I normally like to use leftover rice, and then you fry up some hot dogs. Stick the rice and the hot dog in the bowl, and you add the tomato soup with some ketchup on top. Oh, so good. My mom used to make this when I was younger, and I still make it now. It's one of my comfort foods that we really enjoy. The next, again with tomato soup, add some tomato soup, Lipton soup together, and oh wait, no, this is a different one, sorry. Tomato soup with noodles. This is something also my mom did. We just use macaroni or whatever noodles you have on hand, and then add your tomato soup to it. You can also again add ground beef or hot dogs, whatever you want, and there you have another complete meal. The next one is tuna casserole. Super easy. I'm not gonna explain how to make it. It's fairly easy. The next one is sweet and sour meatballs. I'm pretty sure I did a video on this one. What's the matter? Shh. It's okay. All better. Okay. And those are very easy. You can either buy your pre-made meatballs cheap. They have a $10 bag at Superstore and at Walmart, I believe. And it's basically ketchup, water, cornstarch, sugar, and vinegar. That's it. Super easy, super simple ingredients. And cheap too. And you can also make your own meatballs as well. They actually, most of the time, taste better The next is an egg and cheese sandwich with fruit on the side, or salad, or some kind of vegetable. That's pretty self-explanatory. And the next is one of my favorites, again, is curry chickpea with chicken and rice. I love making this. I think it's more my favorite than my family's, though my mom used to make this when I was younger, and I continue to make it. But I love it more than anybody else. So it's very easy to, you just add chickpeas, either your own chickpeas that you've made yourself. I like to use dried chickpeas and then use that, or you can buy the can too. I kind of have both sometimes. Then you just add a little bit of chicken. I normally just use either leftover chicken that I've had or one chicken breast. And then you make your rice. Add some curry, some turmeric, some, I can't remember all the ingredients off the top of my head. If you want, I can do a video on this actually. It's super yummy. Now I kind of want it. So maybe I'll make a video on this in the next week or so. And the very last one is stuffed peppers and rice. I know it sounds fancy and expensive, but it's really not. If you use green peppers, they are the cheapest peppers that you can buy. And I normally buy them when they're on clearance. I got a huge bag for like just a couple dollars, just because they weren't fresh anymore. But you really don't need fresh peppers for this. I just have them, I stuff them with hamburger that I've extended with oatmeal or breadcrumbs. Wyatt. And then, you know, I add ketchup, I add some hot sauce or salsa in the meat, and salt and pepper, and it's super yummy. And then the sauce, okay, Wyatt, you are caught on camera here. And then for the sauce, again, it's just tomato sauce, beef broth. I do sometimes add some salsa, salt and pepper, and ketchup, of course, a little bit of soy sauce and sour cream. Super yummy. I really like those ones. And then there's almost always lots of leftovers. And those are my 10 cheap and frugal meals. Sorry, I was gonna sneeze. Goes on tight. Okay, so let's see. I'm just gonna go really quickly through. This was back in December 1st to 17th. So we had Sloppy Joe's December 1st. This is half beans, half meat with homemade buns. The next day, December 2nd, we had ground meat with our homemade, what does that say? Homemade, oh yeah, homemade ground meat with the homemade pasta sauce. I think that's what it says. He's destroying my suitcases. Yeah, so ground meat with homemade pasta sauce and noodles. Okay, next we had leftovers for lunch, and then that evening we were out somewhere else for supper. So I didn't make supper that day. Oh, that was Sunday, so we were at my in-laws. And the next, December 4th, was ground meat with our mushroom gravy sauce with yellow beans and rice. Oh, those were from the garden, the beans. And then the next we had beef cabbage stir fry. I've made this on the channel quite a few times. It's quite yummy. And then again with rice. The next day we had lemon pepper chicken, which is just basically chicken sprinkled with lemon pepper seasoning, baked in the oven with rice and salad on the side with homemade dressing. The next day we had pierogies, hot dogs, and salad, again with homemade dressing. Next day we had clearance steak with sauteed onions and gravy. Wyatt. And then we had rice and salad with, again, homemade dressing. Next day we had tuna melts on homemade buns. Basically just tuna with like the whipped dressing. And yes, this is what we do every day. On homemade buns. Well, and then we sprinkle some cheese, put it in the oven. It's quite delicious. And then salad on the side. The next day, here again, we had Lazy Man's Cabbage Rolls with rice. Next day, we had homemade chili that was made with peppers, whole frozen tomatoes, leftover meatballs, spaghetti sauce, and dried white beans, and homemade buns. The next day, we had leftover Lazy Man's Cabbage Rolls with rice. And the next day, we had tomato with chicken soup. Oh, this is what I was trying to talk about before. It's basically tomato soup with Lipton's chicken noodle soup. Mix them together. It's quite good. Something my mother-in-law used to make for my father-in-law. And again, homemade buns. The next we had homemade pizza with salad. And the next day we just had pork with some seasoning and barbecue sauce with rice and salad. And the next day we had lentil casserole and salad. The lentil casserole, I'm pretty sure I did a video on it years ago. Pretty sure. But it's from the Tightwad Gazette. It's one of my favorite casseroles. And it is vegetarian. Oh no, he took my bird off. Okay, that is it for this video. Okay. He took my bird off. And he's missing his wings. Okay, whatever. I hope you enjoy this video. I am sorry for this disruption. I'm going to try doing my videos when he's not around. And it's getting more difficult because he doesn't like napping that much anymore. My elephant, Wyatt. Okay, I'm going to end it off there. Love you all. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye. Have a frugabulous day, everyone.